this is Jupiter, and Jupiter was having stomach problems. He was on one of the specialty foods. He was on Royal Caine. You know, there's Royal Caine, there's Science Diet, and I think Purina makes these diets that are specifically for dogs with like certain problems. And that's a problem because the veterinary community, this is the problem with the veterinary community and raw diet. 90% of them are not going to recommend it, and it's a shame. And the reason why they don't recommend it is one, public health and money. All of them sell these specialty diets, all of them. It's a fucked up system. You know, you go into your doctor's office, you're gonna see like a Royal Caine poster, you know what I'm saying, or Science Diet. It's like they give them these like shitty pieces of art to put in their offices, and it also has advertisement on it. They're making money from having your dog being sick. And Jupiter here, he had a stomach problem. Like anytime there was any slight change or anything in the dog, he would have constant diarrhea. And it ended up that the vet recommended putting him on Royal Caine. Now here's the problem with pet food, is that it has bone in it. It has cooked bone in it. But cooked bone is bad for your dog. You never give your dog cooked bone. You only give your dog raw bone. Raw bone, like raw chicken bone, that's what most people use as the base of the raw diet, is raw chicken, is safe for your dog. It is. And the notion that your dog is going to get salmonella, your dog already has that bacteria in their GI tract, so does your cat. This whole notion that you're going to give your dog salmonella from giving it salmonella tainted chicken is just a fallacy. The chances are so slim. When you go buy a chicken at the grocery store, it's been inoculated. I think in the egg they inoculate it for salmonella. How, you know, if you go buy Tyson chicken at Walmart, what are the chances of those chickens having salmonella? Almost zero. If those chickens had salmonella, they would all be destroyed. They would never be put on the shelf. Do you understand? The public health issue is like, it's minuscule. You wouldn't even like, you shouldn't bat an eye at this, even if you had a kid. A matter of fact, most of the recalls for pet food have to do with salmonella. Gee, isn't that strange? It's horrible. So he's had raw diet. He had beef and he had chicken last night, right? Totally solid, no diarrhea. It'll be problem solved. And that's what I'm saying. If you have your dog on pet food, you have something that like, and skin allergies, any type of allergies, anything like that, you get them off the raw diet, it's gonna get better. It always does. The pet food companies have created a pandemic, an absolute pandemic for our pets by putting cooked bone in it and also way too many carbs. Your dog, your cat needs zero carbs. Zero. And it's a shame. Your cat needs absolute zero carbs. There is no dispute even from the pet food companies that your cat is a carnivore. But they say that the dog is not an obligated carnivore, and what they mean by saying this is, we can give your dog carbs and it'll be okay. It's fucked up. Your dog should have a very small amount of plant protein and fiber. Very small amount. Pet food that's grain-free is just as shitty as pet food with grain in it. Think about it. They're using potatoes. Potatoes are so unnatural for a dog to be eating. If a dog this size killed a small rat, right? How much plant material would be in that rat's stomach? Not a whole lot, you know? And the dog would consume the whole rat, chew it up, and then shit out whatever calcium it didn't need to use. Raw diet is the only thing you should be feeding your dog, and you should be buying your raw diet at the grocery store. Buy human grade food, even if you go to a pet store and buy raw diet. you're still buying pet food. It still has that too much fiber, too many carbs. Don't do it. Don't buy pet food. Go to the grocery store. Where you buy your food, that's where you buy the dog's food. It's simple. He's doing great. He's awesome, by the way. Oh, we're starting to teach him hold. Let me talk about this real quick. And with hold, I'll either teach it like elevated, like up on top of something, like a tailgate of a car or a crate. I'll put the dog on top, or I'll kneel like this sometimes. With the dog like this dog's pretty chill, and I'll just start putting an object in the dog's mouth. And the thing of it is when you do this, it doesn't matter if the dog doesn't really get it at first. It doesn't, because the dog's gonna pick it up. If they act a little freaked out or whatever at first, just try and keep the dog as calm as possible. Keep putting it in the dog's mouth by saying hold. Don't let the dog spit it out, and they start getting accustomed to it, and they start seeing that it's a good thing. And that's the point. He's looking at a bird. If you teach the dog to do hold, you can get the dog to retrieve. Hold or retrieve is just a continuation of hold. There's a little divot right underneath his chin. And if you have real light pressure when you put this in the dog's mouth and keep your fingers sort of there, it's a lot of muscle memory, and the dog will just get used to holding it. It's a series of steps to teach the dog to retrieve. And we're at stage one, which is just, here, put this in your mouth and hold. So we open his mouth, roll it in, put a little pressure right there, and I say hold, hold, no, hold, hold, drop. And we keep it real short. And we do this multiple times throughout the day, and I'll repeat it. And the more he gets habituated to it, the longer I can have him hold it. Let's do it one more time. Open his mouth, roll it in, little pressure underneath, hold, hold. And if you pet their head like this, it sometimes helps. Hold, no, hold, 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 drop. Good boy. Now, did you notice, like, I had him hold it for like 3 seconds. You know, he was holding it, he was in position, and he wasn't fighting it. I counted to 3. Next time I'll count to 4, and then 5, and then 6, and we'll just keep adding on until he's just freely doing it. That's what we want. That's what we want to, where we want to go with this, is that I want to be able to hold this out in front of the dog and say hold, and he goes for it. That's a retrieve. It doesn't matter if it's 1 inch or 2 inches. That's a retrieve. You just do 1 foot, 2 foot. Do you understand? People fuck up when they're like, oh, I'm going to teach my dog to retrieve, and they just go out and start throwing sticks. That's not an appropriate thing to do. Don't ever throw sticks, because your dog will start chewing on it, and that you don't want. Joopy. No, you're good. Come here. Joop. Sit. Hold. 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 Drop. Good boy. He's got it. Good boy. This dog's going to be great. That's very nice, dude.